I'm so excited that there are so many of you who have reached out to Stacy and I to learn more about adrenal fatigue. This is such an important topic to both Stacy and I, as we both have our own personal stories with adrenal fatigue. So I just wanted to take this moment to introduce myself to you and tell you a little bit about my journey with adrenal fatigue, what I've gone through, and kind of where I'm at right now. So I'll start by telling you my name is Lindsay McKelvey, and I'm a mama of two boys who are 5 years old and 16 months old, and we live here near Boston, Massachusetts. We've lived here for going on 4 years, but it was around 5 years ago that I had my first son, and we were living in South Dakota at the time. I had a really difficult postpartum period with him. I was a young, naive mom, and I went through a lot of hard things that I just really racked up to being normal. I was tired all the time because I thought, I have this new baby who's not sleeping, so of course I'm tired. I had a lot of difficulty losing weight, but again, thought I have this new little baby to take care of, and I don't have time to exercise or take care of myself, so of course I'm not losing the weight. I also went through a lot of postpartum depression with him, so it was a really difficult time. Around the time he was 6 months old, I started doing a really intense boot camp class where I went 5 days a week and it would be an hour workout. And looking back, I really don't even know how I made it through that because I was so tired and my body hurt so bad. I would nearly be in tears halfway through because I didn't know how I could physically force myself to keep going. I would get that little bit of an endorphin high at the end, but then I would crash so hard later. It was terrible. Um, I sought out a little bit of help while I was there. I did find out that I also have Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition, so that was also contributing to a lot of my symptoms. Um, Things got a little bit better while I was living there, but then around the time my son was 18 months, we moved here to Boston. And for the first 6 months or so, things really started going downhill again. We had made a really big move, so my diet was suffering. My routine was just out of course, and so things really got bad again. What I was experiencing was extreme fatigue, and when I say that, I don't even know how to explain the level of fatigue I had reached. I could not make it through the day without a nap, and thankfully my son was a great napper, so I would sleep whenever he slept, but whether it was in the morning when I woke up or when I woke up from a nap in the afternoon, I never felt like I had slept. I always felt tired. I had extreme brain fog, and if you've ever gone through that, um, you know what I'm talking about. But the only way I really know how to explain it is like it always felt like I was going through the day in slow motion, kind of like swimming in jello, while everything else just like flew by me. It's kind of a really scary thing to experience. I was still having a lot of difficulty losing weight. In fact, I was gaining more weight. The depression was still kind of coming and going. I got to a really low point where I didn't feel like myself. I knew these things could not be normal. So that's when I really did my research and I found a functional diagnostic nutritionist, or FDN, here in Boston who really helped me just turn my life around. I've learned so much from her. I've learned so much about my body that I didn't know, but most importantly, that these things are not normal and that we don't have to be going through these things. So, what I learned from her is that our adrenals get stressed out because of our environment around us, the things we're putting in our body, chronic stress, all these things are causing us to feel tired and moody and bloated. Um, and that we can make these things better. And being a person who has always taken the natural route to things, um, I was happy to find her because that's the route we took to get better. So we overhauled my diet. I cut out gluten and dairy and sugar. I got on a lot of natural and herbal supplements. I rested a lot. I added just some light exercise to my routine. And within a year, that's how long it took me to get better because I was in very, very severe adrenal fatigue. I lost 30 pounds. I had so much energy. I can't even tell you. I hadn't felt that level of energy in so long. It was so new to me and it was so wonderful. Um, I felt my mind felt clear. I felt like myself. I was happy. Everything was so, so wonderful. I had gotten to the point of such great health. Um, and then shortly after, I got pregnant with my second son. And because of all the work I had done to get better, I had a wonderful pregnancy, um, a great birth. I had done my research so that my postpartum period would be much better, and it has been. It was. My son, like I said, is now 16 months old, and I can tell you now that some of my work that I was doing has slipped a bit. Um, I have let my diet slip a little bit. Something that I've had to remind myself is that those of us who suffer with adrenal fatigue, often our systems are a lot more sensitive to things like what we put in our body and pollutants and chemicals in our environment around us. So we are much more susceptible to adrenal fatigue. So I've let things slip a little bit, and I can tell you that I'm in the depths of it with you again right now. But I can also tell you that it was just a few weeks ago that I visited with my FDN again. I have cleaned up my diet again. I've gotten back on my supplements. I'm taking care of myself again. And just within that short amount of time, the fog has already lifted and I already feel better. I know I have more work to do, but I already feel so much better and I'm feeling so much more like myself. So if you are in the depths of it right now, I know how you feel and I know that it seems impossible, but you will feel better. I promise. So Stacey and I are just going to give you some of the first steps to get started so that you can kind of add these things into your routine and start to feel better too. So if you have any questions before the class, please let Stacey and I know. But we are so excited to see you back here on Tuesday and give you all our information.